speaker, so bear with me here, guys. I should pull out my notes, what I wrote down. I have been involved with Delfest for 9 out of the 10 years it's been here. I've been very happily behind the scenes involved for 9 of the 10 years. I'm here just to voice, for the same reason so many of my friends are here tonight, to voice our concerns about what we've been hearing in the media. And I realize that that's only half the story. And without getting into any of that and not knowing, because we can't know what you guys are doing behind the scenes, I wanted to offer a bit of perspective from my personal story. I'm a lifelong born and raised resident of Frostburg. I'm happily back in the county after living in West Virginia for 3 years. I'm married, I moved back to Frostburg, I'm here, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy and proud to say that I know about half the people here personally. A lot of you I recognize, a lot of you I don't know. I owned and I jumped into the county, the city, Cumberland's promise to rebuild itself, and the good things are on their way pretty hard in 2007. I bought a business downtown. I did everything I could. In 2012, I closed that business. I moved to West Virginia. There's a long story involved with that. A lot of it was my own fault, but that's okay. Anyway, what I want to say is, in times of great darkness, in times of economic turmoil, the light and the hope for me personally, and for so many of my friends here tonight, is Delfest. It's a measure of hope and national prominence and excitement in this area that is not matched by anything else. The thrill that I get personally when I'm sitting at work and I see an article in Rolling Stone magazine that mentions Cumberland, it's something it's never been matched in my life. And the more time I spend here, the more time I spend with these people, and the more good that everybody, including all of you, are trying to do for this area. The one thing that I constantly go back to, and not because I'm part of this underground movement or anything, it's because it's the absolute honest to God truth. When you walk in the fairgrounds, when you walk into Delfest, there's a feeling that isn't matched by any other event in the county. My whole life it's been that way. You talk to a lot of the people around here, I think they'd agree. So I just want to thank you for doing everything you can to ensure that this still continues to be here for the rest of our lives. And Jake, to hear you say growing is a big plus for me personally. All of us are willing to do. I mean, we work pretty tirelessly behind the scenes with the food bank, with all of the wonderful charities that the Delfest Foundation supports. We want to keep it that way. It would just be a gigantic hole if something unfortunate would happen and we lose it. So, thank you.
Great. I'd just like to say real quick, like Jake said, there's no one here in county government that in any way, shape, or form would like to see Delfest leave. I started volunteering with Delfest year 1, well before I was ever a county commissioner. And I get a great joy. I work as a greeter. And now I see people walking in with kids 4, 5, 6 years old. And I'll ask them, is this their first Delfest? And they'll say, well, actually, this one was Delfest 4, and this one was Delfest 7. So, you know, people are coming back year after year.
As a volunteer at the food bank, we sit there for hours upon hours as people bring in the canned donations. It grows every year. The one thing that I remember every single year that we're there is they talk about, where are you from? People, oh, where are you from? I'm from Texas, whatever. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Cumberland. For that glorious moment, they are so envious of us for being here and being in this community. That doesn't happen. When they look you in the eye and they're so jealous that you get to live here, and it's just one of the neatest feelings of my life.
Well, what you have to remember during the contract negotiations this year, it's only been, what, 4 months since the last Delfest. There was about a month of just analyzing what went on together, Delfest, what needed to be changed. Paul Kale, who's handling the contracts for Allegany County, went on a 2-week vacation. Of course, that 2-week vacation was out at the High Sierra Festival. A little bit of a working vacation. Took his sons out there, had a great time, because he loves Delfest as much as everybody else does. And then Stan and his lovely wife, Dre, went on a 2-week vacation, so he wasn't in communication. Then he said something about had a little rainstorm down at his house in Florida a couple of weeks ago. So really, if you look at the And the worst part about it was, this whole negotiation was being done by email. And there's only been about 7 or 8 emails exchanged. You're trying to do something by email, just a lot of miscommunications. I feel that that everything's probably pretty well taken care of right now. I missed Stan's interview on CBC this morning, but I understand it was a very positive interview, so I don't think anybody has to worry about Delfest leaving for quite a while.
Thank you.
And Paul paid for that out of his
Thank you very much for your support of Delfest. I'm a Garrett County resident, but I own property in Allegany County here, and I'm employed in Allegany County. And I've been to Delfest almost every year, not quite every year, and it just seemed to bring great people together across the political spectrum to enjoy great music, second to none in the world. And would encourage you to stick on the path of supporting the organization, and encouraged to hear there may be more than one event a year related to Delfest. So thank you very much.
That's what we're hearing. We're hoping so.
Have we got a picture to put up on the screen here?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
None.
And speaking of pictures, the gentleman in the back is the Delfest photographer.